Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you, have you ever felt like your metabolism was broken? Like no matter what you ate or how much you worked out, your body just wouldn't respond in the way that you would expect it to? If that's you, this video is 1,000% for you. Okay, so I'm not coming at this as a doctor or a trainer. I'm coming at this from the perspective of a woman in perimenopause, a perimenopausal woman. I've lived this, feeling stuck for years, being frustrated, wondering what was wrong with me, because no matter what I did, or if I followed all the trends, I could not lose weight. I could not lose fat. And I couldn't understand why. It was almost like my body wasn't working right. Like it was confused or it was intentionally working against me. And it wasn't until I found out that it doesn't have to do with my body working against me. It has to do with hormones. And once I learned how my hormones affected my metabolism, everything changed. That was a process. But once I learned it, it was like, okay, what I did in my 20s and 30s, or even in high school, well, actually, it never worked for me. I was one of those people where it never worked. But that way of thinking, that whatever I learned back then, was not going to work, especially at this stage in my life, in perimenopause and moving on to my later years, because the whole idea, the whole thing that I had to pay attention to was hormones. And eating less and exercising more is not doing that. That is working against your hormones. So once this was an aha moment, everything changed for me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you learn in high school, in your 20s, in your teens, all this, you always learned, especially us Gen Xers who saw in every magazine, on every television show, on every commercial, that if you moved more and ate less, starved yourself basically, you would drop weight. But the basis of that is all wrong. And it may work for a short period of time back in your 20s, but now it doesn't work at all. It works totally against what our bodies are trying to do. That formula is just oversimplified because our metabolism isn't just about calories. It's about hormones. It's about stress. It's about movement. It's about recovery. It's about muscle. It's about blood sugar. There are so many things that affect our metabolism. And when those things are out of balance, when they're not in the right proportion, what they should be, at the levels they should be, our bodies automatically go into survival mode. So if you're like skipping breakfast and you're drinking coffee first thing, and when you do eat, it's not very much, and you're doing a bunch of cardio, you're not failing. You're just following the wrong advice that you were taught for years, we have been bombarded with through every avenue of media. And that advice just does not work, especially in this stage in life. So back when I was first trying to lose weight, I had seen a picture of myself and I just wanted to drop weight. I saw the picture, I was like, no, not going down that road. That is not where I'm heading. I am going to break the cycle of family and tradition, and I am taking my health into my own hands. And I started to realize that I had to change some things. But what I started to do was wrong. I would get up in the morning. I would do the elliptical for 45 minutes every single morning. I would just drink black coffee or water. And then I would go ahead and have a breakfast. But what would that breakfast be? It would be a smoothie that was full of almond milk and spinach and fruit. There was no protein. There was no healthy fats. There was nothing. Very minimum calories. And I was starving myself. So I was low calorie, working out like a maniac, and had caffeine in my system. My body was like, okay, we need to help her survive because obviously there's an emergency here. All of these caused my cortisol to be high, my blood sugar to tank. And instead of burning fat, my goal my body was in survival mode. My body was hanging on to every calorie I gave it, even if it was under 1,500 or under 1,200 calories a day. And it certainly wasn't going to burn any of the fat that I had already stored on my body because it assumed we were in danger. We were running from a tiger. There was something wrong. We were under stress. The cortisol was through the roof and I could not lose any weight. So slowly, I started to learn about hormone health and a light bulb went off. I wasn't broken. There was nothing wrong with my body. Even back in my teenage years when I couldn't lose fat, there was nothing wrong with my body. There was nothing wrong with this capability that God gave me to be able to stay healthy and energetic. No, it was just I was misinformed. Okay, so let me explain this. Cortisol is a natural hormone, and in the mornings, it is high. And it's high because it's supposed to come up in the morning. We need our hormones, and it comes up because it has a specific job to get us going, to keep us, to wake us up, to help us face the day. But when you add in just a bunch of caffeine on an empty stomach, low calories, and then you do something like cardio, like I was doing, get up in the morning and doing 45 minutes, the elliptical, I was basically just adding gas to a cortisol fire. And that just messes with your blood sugar, your insulin, and keeps you on edge all day long. It even affects your thyroid, your adrenals, your sex hormones. It will mess up with your progesterone, your estrogen, and your testosterone. All these are affected by what you're doing each day. When your hormones are out of balance, your metabolism slows down as a protective response. It's not going to let go of anything on your body that's stored because in its mind, just like our ancestors, when their cortisol was high, there was something wrong. There was an emergency. They were running for something. They were in danger. They were starving because there was no food. So the body would slowly shut down all these things, your metabolism, to hold on to what it had so that they could survive. That was the whole reason that our metabolism works that way. We are built for survival. We're built for healing. We're built for survival. So when we do these things that are naturally raise cortisol and imbalance our hormones, we are not going to be able to lose fat. We are going to hold on to fat. So what do I do differently now? When I get up in the morning, I hydrate. I hydrate with 8 to 16 ounces of water, and I add in some electrolytes, some minerals, so that my body can take in that water. It hydrates my brain. It helps me to feel energetic, and it helps me to feel better, clear my mind, give me focus so that I can sit down to my prayer time and really begin the day in the state that I'm supposed to begin. And I try to get sunlight in the morning. Sunlight is so important to set our circadian rhythm, to help that rhythm within our body, within our metabolism, within our cells, to know it's time to wake up. It's time to burn fat. It's time to get going. It's time to move energy throughout our body. Now, I live in northern Maine, so waking up and facing a big sunny sky doesn't always happen. But even on the cold days, when the light starts to come out, I just open the window and I can look out and have that light shine on me for 5-10 minutes. The best scenario would be to get outside, but sub-zero weather, and when it's snowing and raining, I'm not going outside. But opening the window and letting that sun get on my skin is one of the main things that I do now. And the third thing that I have done that has totally shifted my hormones and my weight is when I eat breakfast, I make sure that it's protein packed, 30 grams of protein at least, and some healthy fat. Now, I still don't eat breakfast in the morning because I try to follow my natural hunger. My hunger cues will come on anywhere between 11 and 1. That's when I'm naturally hungry. And when I break my fast, it is with protein, lots of protein, 30 or more grams, healthy fat. That keeps me satiated. It keeps my blood sugar balanced. It helps me to go through the day with more energy and focus. And if I am going to do some kind of exercise before I have breakfast, it isn't an intense workout on the elliptical. I make sure that I'm doing something walking, going for a walk outside, walking around my house. I make sure I walk a mile every morning before I even get dressed. So I have worked in this natural rhythmic exercise, slow moving exercise into my mornings, and it has changed everything. I also prioritize strength training. I make sure that I am doing something to build muscle, because muscle helps with burning fat. It helps with raising your metabolism. It helps with balancing your hormones, and it's protection as we age. We don't want to fall. We want to have balance. We want to have strength, be able to do the things that we need to do each day. So I make sure I strength train. And I am not talking about going to a gym or hauling the weights all out. Strength training can be simple. Yes, I believe that we should lift heavy things. And I try to do that every day, whether that's a bag of pellets, a bucket of water. I'm trying to lift things and move furniture or whatever every day. But strength training, just regular strength training every day, can be using your body as resistance. Squats, doing planks, doing push-ups. Using your own body as resistance is a form of strength training. Think of our ancestors. They didn't go out and look for dumbbells or look for weights. I believe it was built into their lifestyle. They were always squatting. They were always lifting heavy things. We don't have the opportunity to do that so much, so we have to fit it in. But something like a push-up or working up to do push-ups and planks, I've been really working on push-ups. It is strengthening of the body, the upper body, and it helps to keep you strong, and it helps to raise your metabolism the more muscle you have. Squats are really good because you are using the biggest muscles on your body. You're building them, you're strengthening them. You are helping your hormones, your metabolism, and your fat loss just by adding some strength training into your workout routine just twice a week can make a difference. And taking time to relax, to rest, to read the book I want to read, to sit and journal, to do the things I want to do that give me joy. Even just going on my walk, but having a family member, one of my daughters with me, or my husband, or just sitting and chatting on the couch. These things bring me joy. Actually, filming YouTube and doing those things bring me joy. Learning brings me joy. All these things that I've allowed to fit into my life has helped with stress and helped to balance hormones and helped with my overall fat loss. I wish that way back when, that somebody would have told me to stop punishing myself, that I didn't have to suffer and punish my body in order to lose weight. It's not about doing more. It's about working with your hormones and not against them. If you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and you feel like your body has changed, that it's working against you, you're not the problem. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not imagining it. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're just operating out of a rule book that wasn't written for this stage in your life. And tell me which part of this hits the hardest. If this resonated with you, if you're feeling stuck, tired, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Like this video if it gave you some clarity. And make sure you subscribe if you want some more honest, hopeful, and aware content like this in the future. You don't have to figure this out all alone, and you don't have to keep doing what isn't working. Your body isn't the problem. It's time to work with it, and I'm right here to do it alongside you.